Hey there, Daryl Ng from Western Style Martial Arts over at Issaquah. So today I want to talk about the 1-inch punch and the whole theory behind it, the application, the concepts, and just explain to you how the punch develops its power. So that way many of you have seen the old Bruce Lee videos where you've watched him do the 1-inch punch, the 6-inch punch. And a lot of what comes from Wing Chun, that particular punch will apply to almost every situation once you're close in fighting. So, as you know, the punches, a lot of times people just punch with the arm, right? And so you can hurt somebody still. You can get some good power into just using the arm, okay? And if you're a little bit more accomplished, some people start to understand you want to put some your body weight behind the punch. And I'm using the same amount of power, but you can see that once I put my body behind the punch, I can get a little bit more momentum in through the bag. So again, just showing you my arm, okay? I'm going to put my body behind it. A little bit more power going through this bag right now. Now the 6-inch or the 1-inch punch, rather than having to wind up or coming from a distance in order to come through and hit the bag, you have to do it from an inch and try to create the same amount of power to go through the bag. And so when you do that, you can punch through it. And it's not a push where I've seen some people where they kind of do this. They get ready and then they push through and they say, oh, that's my 1-inch punch. That's really not the case. The punch, how do I explain, is like the Russians have a system called Sistema, and they use what's called a ballistic punch. And that punch will then emanate, power emanates through the body of the person that they're hitting. And it's similar with the 1-inch punch. You want that power to emanate through. So as I come through, I'm still going to hit this bag, but there's a certain amount of energy that's stored up coming from your center that then comes out into the punch. And when I try to explain this to our students, there's a certain kind of a snap that comes through the body that creates this energy flow and then out into your opponent. So the way this works is that I'm going to actually have a snap to this. You can see how that works. So when I hit, there's power. There's power coming through this. Also, there's a bit of a waist turn that goes into this so that my body is becoming part of my arm going through, and the arm is actually a battering ram. And so there's not a lot of shoulder to use for a punch, but it's actually this body momentum. And a lot of what comes from Wing Chun JKD is always predicated from coming from a center line theory. So my punch is coming from the center, or coming, as you see how my position is. Instead of out here, it's here instead. And you're going to notice how I get my waist into it, my body into it. There's a certain snap for that kinetic energy, and then that creates the 1-inch punch. So if you watch again closely, and it's not a push, but a quick hit, which almost can produce, if I'm back here already, the punch. Most people, when they start off, since they don't know how to coordinate their energy, it's going to be really hard for them to punch. But once you learn how to get your body behind it, how to get your structure, which is the most important structure, to get behind all this, notice and learn how to emanate your energy, focus through, you'll be able to do the 1-inch punch. And that's the beginning of how this works. Thanks for watching. 5, 6, 7.